The mother would in all likelihood have been away from the den during the middle hours of the day. They typically come back in the early hours of the morning and allow the cub to feed, or cubs to feed, and then move off to relax during the day so they don't have the cubs pestering them permanently, and then will return in the evening. They won't move far from the den site, but far enough for the cubs not to follow them. And they'll return in the evening like we're seeing now, in order to get in one more feeding before they go out and search for some food for themselves. Well, for those of you who have not seen this hyena den site before, what's important to realize is that there are two other cubs, and you may be surprised as to the fact that I'm calling them cubs, because hyena look very dog-like, and therefore you'd assume that they would be called pups. But strangely enough, hyena are more closely related to cats than they are dogs, so that's why we call them cubs, the youngsters. And there are two more, we think, from a different litter within the termite mound, the burrow just behind where they're lying now, and we're not exactly sure what's going on there, because she does seem to be also giving them a little bit of attention, not as much as this one. We haven't seen them being raised by another female as of yet, so some interesting behavior going on here, and she may be raising both litters, even though only one may belong to her. So at any stage, two more cubs could pop out, and possibly another adult. I've seen one other adult here in the past, and it was either a slightly younger female or a fully grown male. Craig, any sign of the other two your side? Sorry, go again there, Craig. Okay, copy. Interesting. Thanks very much. I'm at the Munisikai now of Rebecca's, active, one adult, one cub, and no other major reports. Copy, thanks Aubrey. Copy, thanks Alex. Is this cub going to come and say hello to us again? Just a few days ago it came so close to the vehicle and provided us with a really, really awesome view of it. But today it might not be as bold. Alex, if you could go with that hyena question from earlier, please. We've just got a question through from Johan. And Johan is asking why the female hyena have penises, and they may appear to have a penis, Johan, but it's actually just an enlarged clitoris, which takes on the appearance of a penis, and that is what makes our lives difficult out here, because sexing hyena, due to what we've just been chatting about, becomes tricky, because they've both got appendages that look identical, essentially. Now, even looking at this cub now, we cannot tell whether it's a male or a female, which is hard to believe. But that's the way it is with hyena. They're interesting animals, and they certainly do keep us guessing. As I mentioned earlier, simply the fact that there appears to be two litters of different ages being raised by the same adults is interesting. And that is the beauty of nature. We are permanently surprised and taught by these animals that nothing is guaranteed out here, and there are a lot of unknown mysteries or ongoings that nobody can really describe. So don't be fooled by what you see, Johan, because it's deceiving out here in the wilderness. Now I wonder if this little cub that's just gone, oh there we go, would have lured out the others, and it has indeed. And you can see considerably smaller, and I think too small to be from the same litter. You do occasionally get drastic size differences between individuals because one may outcompete one when feeding, even to the point of death. But these size differences are too drastic for them to be from the same litter, we think. I chatted with Brent the other day about it, and it would be really interesting to know exactly what's going on here. Well, I've just heard over the radio that Brent and Brian are not far from completing the tyre change. So it'll just be a few minutes until they're back up and running and on the search for anything interesting. So that's good news. Looks like it's coming to say hello. Now, last time it came very, very close to the vehicle to check us out, and it'll be interesting to see if it comes to say hello again. For the time being though, like most young animals, they chew on just about anything they can see, and here it looks to be like a magic quarry branch of sorts, or a magic quarry branch that's dried out. I could be wrong. Well, not like this time, but possibly next time it will decide to come for a closer look. Well, you'll notice how the other cub has got no attention whatsoever from the adults and hasn't even tried to come and do any nursing, so hard to say why that is the case, because we're not exactly sure, but it certainly is interesting that The one cub is certainly getting far more attention than the others. The other day, the female did clean one of the smaller cubs to a degree, but I don't think she let it nurse, not that I saw. Well, for now, all is calm and peaceful at the Hyena den site, and potentially later things will heat up a little bit. But for now, it's looking like a very calm and unplayful scenario. We'll spend a bit more time here and see if things don't liven up a little bit before heading off to search for something else.